Happy December 21, everybody. This is Tony Underwood with the Underwood School, and I'm going to talk about the Play Guitar Now video lesson series. Now, this is where you can go right now and enroll. The cost is $297. It's 12 modules. It should take you around 12 weeks or so. Might only take you 6 weeks. It might take you 24 weeks or a year, but what does it matter? You're going to learn how to play guitar. And I know you're going to learn because I've done this with thousands of students, and I'm going to take away all the pain points and show you exactly what to do. So if you bring a good attitude and do the work, you will be playing guitar next year. You'll be pulling out the guitar and playing Christmas tunes, probably a lot sooner than then. But we take you through everything. Now, you can find out more information about that by clicking on the various links I'll have below. I have some videos about that. But this video is about how to choose and pick a guitar. So let's go over the different kinds of guitar, and then I'll kind of tell you what I feel you should do. You still have time, maybe before Christmas, to pick one up. Even if you don't, I would go ahead, if you're going to do the video series, go ahead and enroll. We go live on December 25th. And then if you need a few days to pick up your guitar, you can at least watch a lot of the videos. So what I'm going to show you first is what's called a steel string acoustic guitar. Now, you've probably all seen these. They have various, there's millions of them. This is really a dreadnought style, close to, it's a little bit bigger than a songwriter style and a little bit smaller than a jumbo. It's your basic 6-string guitar that you would use to play, to accompany others. You can play any style on this. Now, it has 6 strings, and they're steel or they're metal. Some of them have some little windings around them. And what they do is they vibrate. I don't know if you can actually see this one vibrate, but I'll really pluck it. You hear it move back and forth. So it makes, that was a nasty noise, but it makes a nice vibration. And the vibration is magnified by this top, the soundboard, and inside, and it comes out the sound hole and things. And you use your little fingers to make the string shorter, to make the sound higher and so forth. So this is hollow. It's made out of wood. You can get these for, around $100 to $150 and up. I will have some links below to some affiliate, and I do make a little money off of it, not a lot. And I don't care if you buy that or not. That's just for convenience. Now, if you buy one online, that's fine. If you buy one of the lower end guitars, like this, they're not perfect. They're not a Rolls Royce. So you might find that the ends of these bars called the frets might be a little sharper than normal, and you can file those down with just get one of your wife's or maybe yours, an emery board, and just file them down a little bit. Or you can buy it in a shop and ask to see it. Have them, or if you take it home for Christmas, take it back to the shop and ask them if they'll just file those down. You turn these things called tuners to tune it and so forth. But that's a steel string acoustic. So let's move on to the next type. And it looks very similar, except it's a little different. It's hollow. Now, this is a little bit smaller. This is closer to what would be called an OO or a parlor guitar. But listen to the strings. They sound a little smoother because they're, for the most part, nylon. This is called a nylon stringed classical guitar. Now, some of the strings have some metal windings around them. That's just how it is. Played very much the same, except if you'll notice this part, which is the neck, is a little bit wider on the classical guitar. You can see that there. Then this guitar is the steel string. This is the classical. This one is a little bit wider. It's because most classical guitarists do finger style, where they're picking and they need to move around a lot, so they give them a wider bass. We learn a little bit about finger picking in our classes. And then for you people who are in between, we have, if you'll notice in the background, the red guitar. This is has a plug in it as well, somewhere there. There in the back, if you see that. And you can plug this in and plug this into an amplifier, and that's called an acoustic electric. Now, many acoustic electrics look just like acoustics, and you can actually add, afterwards, you can add a pickup in the sound hole that's separate, so don't feel left out. This is a good middle of the road guitar. They're usually not as loud when you're playing them acoustically, and then when you plug them in, they don't have that real electric guitar sound out on the end of the spectrum. They have many of the electrical guitar sounds. But if you want that gut-wrenching electric sound, that would be this guitar over here, which is the Gibson. That's a Les Paul style because of the shape. It's solid wood. It has electric pickups, and the metal strings move past those pickups, which have magnets in them, pick up the signal, send it to some circuits to your amplifier, and you make big sound. Now, you can hear these play when they're unplugged, but they're very soft, so there's no problem with that. Now, the other type of electric guitar, the most popular, this one and the other type, is a Strat style, if you've ever seen a Strat. And then there's many others out there. Which guitar is best for you? One that works and plays well. Because if it doesn't play well, if it's not comfortable, you're not going to want to do it. So if you have a guitar from a relative or something you can borrow that's in good shape, that's playable, that doesn't have weird things going on with it. Because remember, a talented and experienced player can play a really piece of trash and make it sound beautiful. But you want something that really works. Now, the affiliate link shows this kind of guitar, which is the Steel String Acoustic Electric, which I recommend for everybody. Here's why. It only costs around $150 to $200. I know that's a lot for some people, but you know, if you have a new car and you live in a house and make a mortgage payment, you can save up this kind of money. Or maybe you can borrow one or get one off of eBay and those kind of places. Why? Because the basics you're going to learn are going to be a little outside what some of the other guitars do. But this guitar, you can learn all of it. You can learn finger picking. You can learn. You can play, you know, really heavy metal on it. It won't sound as great as something else. But then again, unless you pay thousands of dollars, you're not going to sound like the people on stage, because they have multiple thousands of dollars and maybe tens of thousands for their guitar. It's just like, you know, going and learning to race, and you might want to race your old 1994 Mustang in the drift competition. That's great, but you're not going to race against, you know, the unicorn or something in a drift. So anyway, so let me take care of a technical issue real quick. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. So this is what I recommend for for everybody. And even if you have an electric guitar or something else, you might want to consider going ahead and buying one of these. I have an affiliate link. This is a Carlo Robelli. This is a Sam Ash. It's their house guitar. Very well made. And I'll tell you, any of these guitars, you can always buy $100, $150 guitars. But up until about 15 years ago, anything under $400 or so was just trash. It wouldn't last. I have had these and played these for 10 years, 15 years. I've taught with them, so they've seen such action. They hold up well, and the woods aren't always the most exotic, but because of them having to build it for a price, they'll do what's called laminations, which is many sheets of wood, and then you have a nice veneer on the outside. And what that actually does is make your guitar much more robust than say a $2,000-$3,000 Taylor or Gibson or PRS or any of that. I'm not saying don't buy one of those, but if you get a nice guitar that's not an off-brand and you pay $150, $200, and you take care of it, you're going to have that guitar forever until you want something that plays a little better or whatever. Now remember, like I said, the very bottom guitars, you might find a couple little places. The frets might be a little high. The strings might not be what you want. But you can either email me, I'll tell you how to fix that, or you can buy it in the store at Musician's Friend or Guitar Center or any store that's out there, any music store. Generally, you can go in and ask them. And I'll be honest with you, they'll offer you free lessons, but you get what you pay for. I'm not saying it's wrong, but you know, listen, people don't last with that, very few people. And the video lessons I'm showing you are really going to last and stick with you. So this is the guitar I would recommend. You can get any of the others, and it will still work. We learn all the things. We learn fingerstyle, picking, and everything else on all the styles guitars. Now you might say, well, this is a little uncomfortable to hold, you know, and I go into that in the series, and you're right. And that's supposed to be like that, because it was so comfortable, you wouldn't have anything to learn. You have to get yourself set up for success, and I'll help you do that. And once you do, at first it will seem uncomfortable. Well, you just do it. Do it for a few minutes a day, a couple times a day, even if you need to. Do a little bit in the morning, a little bit at night, anytime you have a desire to do that. Soon it will become comfortable, see, because you'll learn to learn that. It's like shoes. The best shoes are very uncomfortable when you first put them on. Because you have to change your muscles in your feet to get them where the shoes work well, just like any kind of equipment. The other thing I recommend is that you do extra light strings if you can. If you're buying it in a guitar shop, tell them you want extra lights on it. You don't want the strings that are on it because they're usually very thick. They don't break very often, but whatever. So pay them the $25, $30 to put on some extra lights. Keep your old strings unless they'll swap them out for you. And don't let them say, oh, well, your fingers will get used to it. They won't. They'll get used to it by not playing. That's a very important issue. I'm not a guitar salesman. I teach guitar. And I can tell you that that's the main reason finger pain that people stop. And they don't stop because they think about it. They don't say, well, this hurts, I'm stopping. Not like that. It's like eating a food and you're getting real sick. The next time you smell that food, you get sick, even though you might want it. I did that once with good old Southern fried chicken. Got really sick, and the next time I smelled it, my stomach started growling, and I went up to eat some, and I got that feeling in my stomach that says, whoa, boy, back up. And it wasn't very good. So that's why you should make sure you get your extra lights. And if you do not get extra lights for whatever reason, email me. I'll show you how you can get them and put them on. Or you might be able to give that a try to get started or so forth. But get your steel string acoustic extra lights. Now, I would recommend just either a dreadnought size or a parlor size if you want a little bit smaller. It's a little bit smaller, the parlor size. If you're a small person, if you're around 5 feet tall and under, you might want to consider a 3/4. It's not 3/4 the size, it's just called a 3/4. It's a little bit smaller, and it will, I don't have one at hand right now, but it's a little smaller than this 00. And so it will help you out a little bit. Otherwise, I'll help you get set up and so forth. So where are you going to buy these? Please do not go to Amazon, eBay, Alibaba, and get this cheap $60 guitar, you know, that's called, you know, Isometro or something. No offense, but use a name brand or a house brand. Musician's Friend has I think it's called Mitchell, and Guitar Center has their own. Of course, Sam Ash has the Carlo Robelli. And the good thing about using those three, you can buy them online and you can go into the stores too, is that they have return policies and so forth. Let me tell you the tale of woe. Usually it's the parent that does this. They want to buy a $60 guitar, you know, and I tell them, well, buy a $100 guitar. And oh, no, I'm 60. So they buy it. It comes in. It's broken. Then they got to wrap it up, send it back, pay for shipping. The next one comes in, something's wrong with it. See, they usually they don't send you a nice one the second time. They send you whatever they've got on the bench because it doesn't cost them nothing. And usually something's wrong with it or it's blemished and you got to pay shipping again. And by that time you say, I'm just giving up on it. So please don't do that. If you're going to go to Amazon or whatever, get a nice name brand guitar. And if you want to find out a name brand, go to Musician's Friend or Guitar Center or Sam Ash and see what guitars they have, and that's your name brand. And don't worry about getting one with a case and a gig bag and a this and a that and the other. You're going to need some picks, and that's really all you're going to need, a music stand. You can do without those too. You can make do with it. But get just the guitar because you're not going to be traveling with it and so forth. And you're really better off just having it. If you do buy an extra, just pay for an extra gig bag. Doesn't, because you want to have that guitar out. You don't want to have it in a gig bag. You want to have it out where you can pick it up and play within 2 or 3 minutes of sitting down. So go ahead and order those up, and you can click the affiliate links. I'll have some information down below on this video as a YouTube and on the Instagram and the other Facebook posts. And get you a guitar, get you ready for December 25th by going ahead and enrolling in the class, and that'll go live. Even if you don't get your guitar by that time, you will be ahead of the game, because you'll be able to look at those videos and watch them for a couple days until your guitar gets in. Or you might want to, get you a guitar in for Christmas, or you might be already getting a guitar. Maybe you got one last year and it's been in the closet. So I'm going to take you through all this. I'm going to be there with you. I'm going to be doing all the things with you, and you're going to be able to use the video, come on into some Zoom calls and so forth. So look for those links. If you want to find it on your own, you can go to YouTube and just type in Play Guitar Now, the Underwood School, and the video should pop up, some of the informational videos. I'll have those links down here. There's a link on the underwoodschool.com homepage. If you go down a little bit, you'll see where I've put in a little box and a little click now to enroll. And if you want to get a little more information, go to YouTube, search that, and there's several videos there. And I'll try to put up some other videos before Christmas to get you going. So remember, it is a 6-string steel string acoustic that you want, and you just want a dreadnought size or a smaller. Some people have student models, and put extra light strings on them, XL. That doesn't mean bigger, that means extra light, that means very tiny, and they're softer. Now if you're doing a nylon string, you're fine. They're fine as they are. Don't worry about that. The nylon string are classical. Those strings are great as they are, but any of the others, you might want to put on extra lights. So this should get you started. Message me or email me if this is too confusing for you. There's the affiliate link. You can also go to the Underwood School website, theunderwoodschool.com, and click on the store. And there's a Sam Ash, and there's also, I have one link. I think I'm going to try to put a couple more of this steel string acoustic. If they're out or they're not going to ship, you can get a similar guitar on their website. You're going to pay a little more, but you're going to get a little more quality, so you're not losing out. But you can try the other places and Amazon as well with that those same brands. And like I said, go on Sam Ash, musiciansfriend.com, guitarcenter.com, and see what guitars they sell. And those are good brands. They might have a sale, or you might be able to get that on Amazon or eBay. Craigslist and stuff that's used, if somebody will play it for you, okay. And you don't want the store guitarist to play for you, because he can play, I can take this guitar and smash it against the wall and give it to him, and he'll sound like a professional, because he is. So have a friend play or whatever, or maybe you can get one from a friend or relative. That's a great way for them to pass something on to you. Do be wary of guitars that haven't been played for several years, though, because that could be a trap. It could break. I've had after a month, the bridge just pops off because the glue's all dried out. They've been kept in a closet or subjected to severe temperature changes and things. So I hope this has been helpful. I'll try to put a few more things up before Christmas. Go ahead and get enrolled. Where were you last year? Doing nothing. So watching YouTube videos. Well, how about learning some guitar? To give yourself a year. Man, next year you can be the life of the party at your house when people gather for Christmas. When everybody's having a Thanksgiving argument, you can go and start playing love songs and all that stuff. You can play at your house of worship. You can go play at any gathering, any meeting. Go to the Toastmasters or a teachers club or a PTA and say, I'd like to come and play a half hour before you start and a half hour when you're through. Go to people's parties and play. And I do that, now I'm all vaccinated and I use my mask, but that's just me. But you can go and do this safely and do it, and get to know your guitar. That'll be you next year, instead of, ending your life, I always wanted to play. And it doesn't matter if you're 80 or 8, you can do this. The younger students might need somebody to help them with the reading and the understanding. And the older students, you need to have patience. That's the only thing, because you do learn faster than the other ages, but you don't believe it. And after about 3 months, when you're just starting to play good, you give up. That's one of the things I've seen teaching thousands of people. And I'm getting up there too, but I'm not in my 80s yet. But I've had a man in he was 85 or something. He could already play, and he was playing wonderfully. And then he said he was going to quit because his 15-year-old nephew or grandson got a guitar for Christmas, and 3 months later he was just playing like a professional. I said, well, or you're not a professional. Let him do his thing. You're doing better than most people. But he just couldn't receive it, and I felt so bad I couldn't make him understand that, because a lot of times we put roadblocks up for ourselves. So don't do that. You can do this. Get you a guitar, and no matter what it is, if it's a hand-me-down that don't play, get it, email me if that's all you can do, and I'll try to talk you through getting it into playing shape. This is Tony Underwood from the Underwood School and the Play Guitar Now video series. Click those links and enroll it. It's the best value out there, and you'll regret not doing it, but you won't regret doing it, because I'm going to be there right with you. And as long as you'll do the work and watch the videos and put in the time, and it's not that much time, you will be a player before you know it. So I'm wishing everyone a fantastic holiday season, a happy new year of learning to play the guitar. Peace, my friends.